Welcome back to the Mountain Outpost. This is the Javelina 100 edition. I am Zach Marion here with my co-host, Leah Yingling.
Hi, everyone.
We've got Stephen Cornelius and Stefanie Flippin with us.
Hi.
Welcome to the show, guys. The show being the race. I mean, this is a
Yeah.
production, right?
We're here.
So I want to start off here from both of you. What brings you to Javelina 100? Is it the costume party? Is it the race? Is it the golden tickets? Stefanie, let's start with you. Why are you here?
Sure, yeah. So I lined up at Javelina last year. Unfortunately, I didn't know at the time, but I was lining up with a very broken femur at the time. I'm definitely back for redemption. I had to pull around 100K last year. Definitely gunning for a golden ticket, but really just celebrating the journey I've been on this past year as well.
And you left the broken femur at home this year.
I did.
Okay,
It's all healed.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Stephen, let's hear from you. What brings you to Javelina 100?
So in 2022, after Run Rabbit Run, I clicked on the top 2 video on YouTube, and I was still off that high from Run Rabbit Run, and I was like, oh, I'm going there. It looked a lot of fun, and I was like, I want a golden ticket. But yes, so I'm here for the fun and the golden ticket.
So we are chasing gold here in the desert from both of you here.
Yeah.
How do you guys see the day playing out tomorrow? Did you specifically train for this course in terms of heat, flat, rolling hills?
Yep.
Stephanie, let's start with you. What's up?
Yeah, sure. I definitely see tomorrow going out hot for both the men and the women's fields. I know from experience, lining up last year and seeing previous years play out, how those paces tend to roll. I definitely took a very different training approach this year compared to last year. I really upped my vert significantly. I'm fortunate to live and train in the mountains, so instead of trying to fight that, I went with it. I brought my volume down a bit, which is sort of what led me into the stress reaction last year. I really prioritized quality over quantity and really upped my vert for this. I also put in a significant amount of heat training. This year, I didn't just do sauna training. I actually, my partner created this wild heat chamber. We had 3 space heaters going in it. Pretty much we utilized an old camping tent. We used adjustable crutches to jack up the tent. And we put that over our treadmill, and I logged a decent amount of time in there.
Can you please post photos of this on your Instagram stories today so we can all see this new contraption?
Patent pending.
Yeah, it is wild.
You started an entirely new business.
I know, right?
Stephen, let's bring it to you, man.
As far as training went, I had 2 big training blocks. One was a mountain training block from Run Rabbit Run. Things didn't go so well there, so I pulled the plug and I went immediate into training right after it. Hit a 150-mile week. I made sure in those 4 weeks too, I did some high mileage, but I did about 450 miles in that training block, and I made sure every single footstep was either 8 minutes or faster.
Wow.
I went back to my roots, my marathon roots, and hit the roads, rolling roads, and just basically just ran 7-minute pace, doing some speed workouts, some marathon road speed workouts, try to get that uptick. And yeah, I feel good. Legs feel like gold.
Wow.
I love that you say you ran 7-minute pace and then you threw in some speed work on top of it. I think that lets the competitors know where you're at right now. Bringing your road background into this type of race, do you see that being a strength for you, even though this is a sneakily difficult course, given the fact that it is long stretches of rollers and uphills? Do you think that road speed and that base is going to be a secret weapon for you?
Yes, I did a loop. I've been here for about 10 days. And I did a loop 8 days ago, and I felt how smooth the trail was. I was like, oh, this is kind of bouncy.
Nice. Yes, Stephen, I would say you gained a lot of fans during Run Rabbit these last couple years. I think this year you even got termed the Hurricane, and I think that's
Nice.
leaning into your roots in Florida. I believe, were you living in Florida before?
Yes, North Florida. We have a lot of hurricanes.
Yeah. And then you relocated out to Steamboat Springs to train for Run Rabbit this past summer.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about the benefits of that training block for Run Rabbit, maybe the things that went well for you at Run Rabbit, things that didn't go quite well, and the learnings that you're bringing into Javelina?
The benefits was I gained a lot of vert. I found out that mountain vert equals to leg speed, right? When I started jumping the speed workouts, it's like, whoa, it's still there. So that was great. Mountain training leads to a lot of time on your feet, so I was glad I was able to get that time. lesson learned at Run Rabbit Run is do not push the gas pedal the first 8K. It's not an 8K race. Go in it hydrated, go in it fueled, know what type of, have a hydration plan. I didn't have a hydration plan. I have one now, and eating plan too, and just keep up with the calories.
Awesome. And then Steph, it's been a little while since you've been able to complete a full 100 miles, but I will say of all the women lining up on the start line, you have several of the fastest 100-mile times, several sub 14:30s. You've run your fastest, I believe, at Tunnel Hill. Tunnel Hill. You're a USATF 100-mile champion, which is incredible. Talk a little bit about how you're going to approach Javelina, what you'll be leaning into from your past 100-milers, and a little bit of how it's going to be different this year.
Yeah, sure. I've definitely been thinking back to like the handful of like 14XX like 100-milers I've won and run. I mean, and just like trying to focus on like, okay, I really just have to replicate that again. It's really no different. I try to approach things as just keeping this training block and even like this week like really low key. I feel like that's when I've had my like biggest success heading into like those 14-hour 100-milers, not putting so much pressure on myself. Like I said, like really focused on heat training for this. Like Steven mentioned, like I do think like putting in vert for this course, it is sneaky. Like especially when you're out in that exposure, like those rollers just start to add up, especially on loops 2 and 3, and into loop 4 as well. I think like my approach is really just taking things like aid station to aid station, staying patient, and like blinders up. Like for me, like I'm here to run my own race, not anyone else's race. And when I've taken that approach in the past, it has always worked out in my favor. So I'm holding confidence in that.
Oh, I love that.
Steve, question to you. What is going to be your game plan for tomorrow? We've talked about your training. We've talked about your purpose in being here. How are you going to execute that tomorrow?
Well, I'm definitely not going to take the lead. Not right away. I'm going to just stay back, run a smart race. I need to get a finish. As when you look at my stats, I'm 3 out of 7. That's not good stats, so I want to get 4 out of 8. Get a
pretty standard in ultra running.
Yes. I know. So I do want to get a strong finish, though. And I want to keep these guys close to me.
Yeah. Absolutely love it. One of the more exciting things about Javelina is not just the hot temps and the hot races, but the hot costumes. Are we wearing a costume tomorrow, Steph? What are you wearing?
I am not wearing a costume tomorrow. I know. I feel like I'm like a womp womp with that. But no, I am really like trying to take like a very focused approach tomorrow. I'm trying to balance like not taking things too seriously, but again, like when I line up on the start line tomorrow, like it's full engagement mode for me. It's like Leah mentioned, I've been gunning for a very strong finish now for a while. Like the fire has been burning like really hot for a long time. And I'm not here to like mess around. So
there's a fine line between intentional and overly thinking about it. Right?
Exactly.
It sounds like you're towing that really well. Steve, what are you wearing tomorrow, man?
So I'm going to, this is my chance to actually get someone to help me out with my costume. I do have the blue paint, the blue body paint, but I am going to be Aang for The Last Airbender. And so I need the arrows on my arm, and I need to get the arrow on my head, but we just need to make sure that the blue paint's not sweating in my eyes throughout the race. But that could be quite a possibility, so we'll see how long the blue paint lasts.
I absolutely love it. What is the rest of your kit going to be? What are you bringing out on the course? Shoes, apparel?
So, I'm bringing back Reebok from the 80s and 90s. I have the Reebok Flow Ride. They're a road shoe.
Nice.
I've tested them on the trail. They're really bouncy, a lot of energy return, and it definitely reminds me of 2001.
I love that.
I love it.
You
And
might be
you're
the only person in Reeboks out there tomorrow.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yes, and they're trying to make a comeback. They just recently got back on their own away from Adidas, and they hired Shaquille O'Neal for the basketball division. So we'll see.
I love it. And you're rocking the toe socks with it, right?
Yes, and Gingy. I did a photo shoot with them after Run Rabbit Run, and they hooked me up a sweet hat and some really cool socks.
Nice.
I'm a firm believer. Toe socks or no socks for me. That's the way to do it. Stefanie, what are you wearing tomorrow?
In terms of shoes,
The whole kit.
whole kit, fortunate. Lululemon has me kitted out, some great like proprietary like topical cooling items.
Ooh, fancy stuff.
Again, like another patent pending there. So yeah, like I said, full Lululemon kit. I did decide to go with the Asics Fuji Speed 2s as my racer. They were like a brand new shoe. I think they just came out, and I think they're only available like with Asics right now. Like Steven mentioned, like I've been thrilled with them. Like they're carbon plated, super bouncy. I feel really, really solid on this type of terrain in them. So I've got a few backup pairs as well. So
another question that we've been throwing to some of our guests so far is, if you guys could pick a favorite long run or favorite workout from your training block that's giving you a lot of confidence rolling in tomorrow, what is that?
yeah. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, Steph first.
Okay. That's actually a very easy question for me because I am someone that likes to toggle through my training, and I like to pick out like favorite moments. Actually, Leah and I were recently up in Whistler for Lululemon training camp. You were actually headed out to the airport that day, but what made it super special was I had headed out. We ran the first like 8 miles, I think, together, and then a couple of our male like teammates like took me out. Like our friend Mal and I, like we were running up this mountain in Whistler, like the fog had just lifted. We were seeing all the fall foliage come into view. It was just incredible. We were like on this huge climb. Then we flipped around. We were just bombing down the mountain. Like we got back into town. I see Leah screaming at me, like waving at me, like she's on her way to the airport. And then my friend Rob picked me up on the bike, and we threw down a few like 6:15 miles, like on the like on a rolling like bike path in front of our resort that we were staying at. And it was a really confidence boosting run for me. It was full of like all of my favorite people. It was the best way to like wrap up the training block. So I'm really dialing into the good vibes that I got from that run.
Oh, I love it. How about you, Steven?
The whole week right after Run Rabbit Run, I did a 150-mile week. That gave me a lot of confidence because that's a lot of miles. I was like, oh my gosh, it's the most miles I ever ran. And I was just always running. And then when I was able to drop it down to 100-mile weeks, I did a 5x1 mile workout with a mile float in between. And I don't remember my splits exactly, but I think I started around 5:45 and then worked my way down to 5:25. And so it felt real comfortable. I was like, oh, this feels like when I get down to that pace, it starts feeling like 7:30 pace to me. And I'm like, oh, this feels, I was like, oh, don't go 5:30 pace in Javelina or even 6:30 pace, but just stay comfortable, really, really comfortable. But yeah, so that gave me a lot of confidence that I got the speed back, and then it'll make 8 flat pace feel easier.
Yeah, I agree with you, Steph. I think one of my favorite things when I approach a race is to go back at my Strava, look back at all those good workouts I had. Like you mentioned, Steven, look at the great volume that you've had, and just gives you a little bit more confidence whenever you're towing that line that you've put in the work and you've done what you need to do and you're showing up as the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
Sounds like you guys are bringing the excitement, the purpose, the intentionality, the right training to have a great day. The last thing that every athlete needs to bring is a crew or a pacer.
Yeah.
Steph, who is your crew? Who's your pacer? Why'd you bring them?
Yeah, so my husband Mitchell is my main crew, my crew chief here. He knows exactly always like what I need, what I don't need, like most importantly. He's great. Like he allows me to like work through the low points. He just knows like how to like sort of like approach things with me at any given time. I have my close friend Randy pacing me for loop 4, and then I have Leah Yingling pacing me for loop 5.
I'm so excited. We're going to have
Secret
a blast.
weapons
Yeah.
right here. I love it.
Yep.
Steve, who'd you bring out with you?
So I'm always by myself, so I have no crew or pacer, but I'm here to make friends, and I'm recruiting right now.
Okay.
You are going to make all sorts of friends out there, because if Javelina is nothing else, it is a party and a blast. You guys are really going to enjoy it. We wish you guys nothing but the best of luck out there.
Thanks.
A hot, fast, but cool temp race out there. So keep yourselves cool, keep yourselves fast, and we're going to see you guys out on the course. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Can't wait.
Thank you.